Welcome guys. Today's video on the top 5 best gaming motherboards. Think of the best gaming motherboard as the foundation for your future PC. Your motherboard dictates what your gaming PC can and cannot do. It also tells what components you should buy since not all PC parts fit into all motherboards. A good motherboard should provide you with worry-free gaming lasting multiple CPU and GPU generations. If you need more information about sewing machine, follow the description link. Number 5. MSI Mag B660M Mortar Wi-Fi DDR4 Gaming Motherboard. Product details. Specifications. Socket. LGA 1700 chipset. Intel B660 form factor. Max voltage regulator. 14 phase, 12 plus 1 plus 1, 1260A MOSFETs for Core PCIe 1 V4.0, X16, 1 V3.0, X4 USB ports. 1. USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 Type-C port, 20 Gbps. 3. USB 3.2 Gen 2, 10 Gbps. 4. USB 2.0, 480 megabits per second warranty. 3 years. Reasons to buy. Plus affordable. Plus good performance. Plus 6 SATA ports. Reasons to avoid. Minor performance loss with DDR4. Just 2 M2 sockets. So long as you don't plan on overclocking your CPU or want to use PCIe 5.0 devices before your next upgrade, the MSI Mag B660M Mortar Wi-Fi DDR4 and its B660 chipset makes for a great option for those looking to get into older Lake without putting a heavy burden on your build budget. It lacks the fancy looks or RGB lighting of pricier boards, but does come with everything you need to get the most out of a stock clocked older Lake CPU. The Mortar includes two PCIe 4.0 x4 M2 sockets, 6 SATA ports, a premium last generation audio solution and VRMs that easily manage the flagship Core i9 CPU. In our testing, performance on our B660M Mortar was similar to those of the Z690 base DDR4 boards we tested previously. In other words, this sub-$200 motherboard was able to utilize our i9 to 12900K processor to its fullest, while costing a third less than most Z690 offerings. Follow the description link to get more information. Number 4. GIGABYTE C690 ATX DDR4. Product details. Specifications. Socket. LGA 1700 chipset. Intel C690 form factor. Max voltage regulator. 18 phases PCIe 16. 2. V5.0 ASUS CX16. 2. V5.0 X16, X8 X8 USB ports. 1. USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 Type-C, 20 Gbps. 3. USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-A, 10 Gbps. 4. USB 3.2 Gen 1, 5 Gbps warranty. 3 years. Reasons to buy. Plus overclocking features galore. Plus robust, 15-phase 105 AVRMs. Plus 4 M2 sockets. Reasons to avoid. Limited to 64 GB of RAM. Last gen audio codec. The Z690 AORUS Tachyon comes with robust power delivery that supports sub-ambient overclocking of any compatible older Lake CPU. The 105 ASPS MOSFETs, large heatsink, and overclocking tools ensure the board doesn't get in the way of top achievable clock speeds. And in our testing, it performed above average overall, with some of the fastest results in our new Blender benchmark, Cinebench R23 and Procyon Office, with our game tests also showing results slightly higher than average for the Z690 boards we've tested. The mATX AORUS Tachyon has several features that make overclocking easier too, including buttons to raise/lower the CPU ratio, cooldown functionality, limp modes, multiple BIOS capability, tantalum capacitors around the socket area, better and easier for insulating for sub-zero runs, and more. Although this board is made for overclocking, it still does most everything else well too. From the 4 M2 sockets and 6 SATA ports to the last-gen flagship Realtek audio solution, it comes packed with features that are useful for most any type of user. Still, those who need more than 64 GB of RAM, professionals, content creators, etc., will have to look elsewhere. Follow the description link to get more information. Number 3. GIGABYTE C690 AORUS Ultra. Product details. Specifications. Socket. LGA 1700 chipset. Intel C690 form factor. Mini X voltage regulator. 13 phases CX16. 1. V5.0 USB ports. 1. USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 Type-C, 20 Gbps. 3. USB 3.2 Gen 2, 10 Gbps. 2. USB 3.2 Gen 1, 5 Gbps. 2. USB 2.0, 480 megabits per second warranty. 3 years. Reasons to buy. Plus low price among ITX Z690 peers. Plus premium appearance includes RGB LEDs. Plus robust, 105 ASPS MOSFETs. Reasons to avoid. Only 2 SATA ports. No SATA M2 support. The Gigabyte Z690i AORUS Ultra Plus has proved itself in our testing to be a well-performing, good-looking, and a cost-effective option in the Z690i TX space. Priced well at $329.99, it's cheaper than most of the competition, and it includes two M2 sockets, a modern premium audio codec, and high-quality 105A MOSFETs to feed any CPU. Plus it's an RGB-inclusive design. If we look at the competition, we have ASRock C690 Phantom Gaming ITX TB4, $299.99. The MSI MEG Z690i Unify, $399.99. And ASUS's ROG Strix C690i Gaming Wi-Fi 6E, $409.99. These are more than capable ITX boards, with the difference coming down to price and your needs. All of these boards include Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5GB, at least 2 SATA ports, and 2 M2 sockets. The other boards have additional SATA ports, while the MSI is the only one with 3 M2 sockets. The ASRock falls short if you compare audio codecs, but few users would notice a difference. We like what the Gigabyte Z690i AORUS Ultra Plus has to offer. The new board fixed problems with the previous version's PCIe slot, and brought us a generally well-rounded and definitely a well-priced SKU. It's also the only Z690-based ITX board with integrated RGB LEDs to make the visually stand out in your case. Those who are looking to use more than 2 SATA drives will need to look elsewhere, but otherwise, the Ultra Plus is the best Z690 Mini ITX option available for the price. Follow the description link to get more information. Number 2. ASRock Z690 Extreme Wi-Fi 6E Product Details. Specifications. Socket. LGA 1700 chipset. Intel Z690 Form Factor. Axial Touch Regulator. 15 FAS CX16. 1 V5.0, 1 V4.0, 1 V3.0 USB ports. 1 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C 10 Gbps, 1 USB 3.2 Gen 2 10 Gbps, 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 5 Gbps warranty. 3 years. Reasons to buy. Plus lower price than competition. Plus Wi-Fi 6E and dual Ethernet ports. Plus 8 SATA ports. Plus bright RGBs. Reasons to avoid. Only 5 USB Type-A ports on rear I/O. Subpar out-of-the-box performance on some tests. ASRock C690 Extreme Wi-Fi is a great motherboard to build your older lake-based system around if you're looking to save money to spend on other components. It's out-of-the-box performance with some heavily multi-threaded applications, was somewhat slower than average in some tests, but lightly threaded workloads in game testing saw this board shine. Hardware-wise, the board is well equipped for its price, including 3 M2 sockets, a whopping 8 SATA ports, dual Ethernet ports, 1B 2.5B, and integrated Wi-Fi 6E. The board looks good too, with its mostly black design, dark blue accents, bright RGB LEDs, and aesthetically pleasing notches in the PCB. There are many competing options in the $200 price range, but only the ASRock Extreme comes with integrated Wi-Fi 6E and 8 SATA ports. If you're into RGB lighting, which the ASUS and MSI do not have at this price, the Extreme Wi-Fi 6E is the way to go. Unless you need more than 5 USB-A ports on the rear I/O, the Z690 Extreme is the best Z690 board we've tested around the $200 mark. Follow the description link to get more information. Number 1. Gigabyte Z690 AORUS Pro. Product details. Specifications. Socket. LGA 1700 chipset. Intel Z690 form factor. Axial touch regulator. 19 FAS CX16. 2 V5.0, 1 V3.0 USB ports. 1 USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 Type-C, 10 Gbps, 4 USB 3.2 Gen 2, 10 Gbps, 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1, 5 Gbps, 4 USB 2.0 warranty. 3 years. Today's best deals. View at Amazon. Reasons to buy. Plus 13 USB ports. Plus 90A VRMs. Plus 4 M2 sockets. Plus reasonable price. Reasons to avoid. Contrasting heatsinks. No Wi-Fi 6E, only 6. Lacks integrated RGB. At around $330, the Gigabyte Z690 AORUS Pro is a mid-range older lake motherboard that covers all the bases very well, with minimal sacrifices. There are ample storage options, including 4 M2 sockets, updated audio, and a new appearance. In our extensive testing, performance, thermals and overclocking were also well within the range of other Z690 boards we've tested. Between its 13 USB ports on the rear I/O, 4 M2 sockets and capable power delivery, all at a price that's well below flagship options, there's a lot to love about the Z690 AORUS Pro. So long as you don't require integrated RGB lighting or Wi-Fi 6E out of the box, you still get Wi-Fi 6. The Gigabyte Z690 AORUS Pro is an excellent Alder Lake motherboard to build your Z690 system around. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe our channel.